Hey everyone, Tech Steve here, and this is the Sony Bravia 9. Now a few months ago, I got a chance to go to a Sony event and they reached out to me and loaned me this television, and I made a video about it if you guys want to check it out. With that being said, I'm excited to get this out of the box and do some gaming on it, and later on we'll come out with a full review when I have time to film everything. But for now, let's get into it. So when you get these TVs, all the accessories are here on top of the box. So you want to do that first before you pull out the little plastic pieces at the bottom. And it looks like they have it with a cover with all the accessories below. Great thing is the feet made out of metal to hold the weight. And speaking of weight, this is one of the heaviest 65-inch TVs I've lifted. It also comes with these covers to hide all the wires on the back of it. Now here's the remote control that comes with it, and it has these nice kind of speckles on it. And I'm happy to see that they did add backlights to this remote control. But you have all your same features like your volume up and down, channel. This has voice command with Google as well as some hotkeys. And here's the thing, Sony removed the batteries, so it now uses a rechargeable system with a USB-C on the bottom. And to remove the box, you'll find 4 of these little tabs. You just pretty much take these out on each side and you're good to go to lift the top box off. And just remember, when working with a TV this big, you don't want to hurt yourself, so you always want to have assistance. So I have Justin from our Gadget Getters channel, and he's going to help me get this all ready to go. So Justin, you want to grab the other side? Just slide it right off. Man, this thing is wrapped up good, right, Justin?
Yep, sure is.
So Sony had this thing ready to ship so it doesn't get damaged. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this on its back so we can start installing the feet. And there's a few other pieces back here in the back. Let's go and get all these pieces out. All right, Justin, now we're going to just take the TV and lay it on the cardboard right here. Man, this thing is heavy. There you go, we got it on the cardboard. Whew, that's a heavy TV, very heavy TV. This TV does have 2 different mounting options. You can go center or you can go wide. Now, since I have the 65 here, I'll go ahead and measure it for you. So on the wide side, you're looking at about 55 inches if you want to have the feet over to the sides. And if you go to the inside, we're looking around, it looks like around 18.5 inches. So that'll be the options there. If you want the TV to be flat to your stand and you don't have an audio system, you're going to get about a 1/2 inch clearance. And then if you come over here, we're going to get about 3 inches of clearance. So if your sound bar is less than that, it should fit underneath here just fine. And they give you some screws to go ahead and screw it in. All right, let's go and lift this beast. Don't try this at home, kids. One thing I did notice is that when you use the bottom setting like I'm doing here, definitely watch your fingers because the TV is so close to the stand that you don't have much room to get your fingers out. So be careful with that. And to make everything look stealthy, it does come with all these covers that you can snap in place to make the TV look clean on the back of it. And I really like that. This TV is packed full of features, but let's talk about the back cover here. So here's the thing. Over here we have a spot where you can add the Sony camera on it, and they have these little grooves where it snaps into place. The camera is so separate, but it gives the TV a lot of features such as Ambient Optimizer Pro. And this feature will automatically adjust the picture quality based off the lighting as well as the distance you are from the television. And this feature also adjusts the sound quality with sound auto calibration. Plus you get features like gesture control, and you can use it to video chat with your family. This TV has 2 10-watt speakers right here. These are called up-firing speakers, and they're designed to reflect off the wall to give you more of that Dolby Atmos sound. Down here we have a subwoofer on each side. These are 10 watts, and this TV has what they call frame speakers. So in the side of the edge here on the television, you're going to get 2 more speakers on each side, and that's 5 watts by 2, and that's going to give you a total of 70 watts. So I'm very excited to get this all set up so I can listen to the audio system. Besides that, you see you have this nice checkerboard finish. You can easily mount it on the wall, as you can see here. Over here is where those extra grooves are if you want to mount the feet on the outside of it. And as we come over here, we're going to have those standard screw holes. And again, these subwoofers are pretty much based right here. Another thing I want to point out is that this wire is connected to the television, and it has this nice design where you can take these clips out and run the wire down to the bottom of the TV, so it has that nice, clean, stealthy look. This TV has Wi-Fi built in, but check out all these inputs on the side here. So we have two USBs, and one of them is USB 3.0 for faster connectivity. We have a switch here so you can turn off the built-in voice command if you don't want to use it hands-free. Down here we have a center channel input, and you can use this on the Bravia 9 soundbar. We have 4 HDMIs. 2 of these are 120 Hertz, but unfortunately HDMI 3 shares eARC, so you can't have a soundbar and a gaming console on that same input. But don't worry, these are HDMI 2.0, so you can still hook up your console there if you have older ones. Down here we have a LAN connection for hooking up to your router. We have an RC232 port for service, as well as some of the different connectivity. You also have an IR input, and this is an ATSC 3.0 TV tuner. So you'll just run all your HDMI cables, antenna connections right there, and then just put these covers on. And this is what everything looks like when it's all in place. And as far as your HDMI cables and your antenna connection, they'll just slip right here through the back of it and go down to your entertainment center. Now, as far as the screen pull, Sony doesn't really have that. What they do is they put this tape around the edges here at the top, and they put a little bit more tape at the bottom. But again, you don't get anything on the screen itself on most of the Sony televisions. When setting up the Bravia 9, you can use your remote control, but since I set up so many TVs, I decided to use the Google Home. What you want to do is just basically scan the barcode on the screen, or you can hit down on the remote to do a manual input. You're going to need to have Wi-Fi if you plan on using the Google applications. You're also going to need a Gmail account to sign in so you get access to all the applications. Once you walk through all the steps, you'll need to then set up the Bravia. And Bravia is basically going to ask you a few questions to make sure that when the TV is done setting up, that everything is configured properly, and it does it all automatically. Once everything is done, you'll end up at the Google home screen where you can start using the television. As I mentioned earlier, we're just going to show some gaming on this particular video. And the thing about PS5 is that it has HDR tone mapping, so it's ready for any Sony television that supports that. Now, here's the thing, you might be confused because when we look at the resolution here, it only shows 60 frames per second. And the reason is that on PS5, the game will automatically move it to 120 Hertz. As you can see here in the connection HDMI device management, is that this TV will support 4K up to 120 Hertz. It also supports HDR. And if you go over to 1080p, you're going to get the same settings. So I don't see an option to get 240 Hertz or anything like that, just so you know. The last thing that I want to note here is you can leave everything automatic, but when it comes to HDR, I would definitely check it to only when supported, because always on might try to convert SDR content and it will not look as good. This TV does have a gaming bar, which is great. So if you press menu on the remote control, you get this bar here at the bottom. And first thing we have is picture mode, where you can change the picture quality based off the type of game that you're playing. You also have variable refresh rate that you can turn off and on. And over here we have motion blur reduction. You do have a black EQ, so if you want to make it lighter or darker, you can play around with that. You have a screen size. The custom setting allows you to adjust the size of the screen, and this is great if you have a different type of device plugged into it that doesn't fill up the screen completely. And then over here we have crosshair, and this is great if you want to play first-person shooting games or things like that. You can change this little dot in the center to make it the way you like it. Another thing that I want to point out is here at the bottom, you can see that it is reading 4K. It does support 120 Hertz, HDR10 is turned on, and it does support BT 2020 and 12-bit graphics. The 1080p input lag at 120 Hertz is 9.5 milliseconds, and when it comes to 4K, you're looking at 9.8 milliseconds, but keep in mind this TV will not support 1440p.
you want to tell me just what the hell is so important? I can't.
Now we're going to take a look at the settings in the Xbox Series X. As you see here, it will support 4K at 120 Hz. And if you're looking at TV details, you can see that it supports pretty much everything, and this TV will support Dolby Vision gaming as well. Now a lot of people wonder if you can play 120 Hz in Dolby Vision, and according to what I'm seeing, the TV will allow that to happen, including the variable refresh rate. So if you do have an Xbox, don't worry, Dolby Vision is supported at 120 Hz. And to test this theory out, let's bring up that gaming menu again. And you can see right here, 120 Hz variable and Dolby Vision. So I hope you enjoyed this full unboxing of the Bravia 9 and watching some gaming on it. And just so you know, I always show gaming now because I know a lot of people buying this TV are going to be buying it for movies, but gaming is probably the second most important thing that people are going to use the television for. And I want to show you the full capabilities of it on the Xbox and PS5. Now keep in mind, this TV will support G-Sync, but it does not support AMD FreeSync, and that's something that I wish they did include in this television. Also, it won't support 1440p, but if you have 1080p or 4K, why would you really need 1440p, even though some games do support that? With that being said, let me know what you'd like to see on the full review, and I'm gonna take my time to make sure I film everything so you can get a full understanding how this TV performs. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go and smash it right now. I'll wait. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.